rest of his squad on the offensive side early, and a character, an agent that we haven't seen for a while now. We kind of said that out into the live patch of Valorant. Breach hasn't been played all that much by teams, but here's Breach being picked up by Fake.
Yeah, with Royals pick, we want them to get off to a good start. And as we look in towards the boys on 2G4L, I mean, this is a team that I'm immensely familiar with back in the other tournaments. So as I was mentioning how these guys played in Battalion quite a lot. Every single one of these players is capable on an individual level. Obviously, there's been some small lineup changes since we last saw them. But the core, when you look at Raplan on the Rays, that was always the highlight of this team, as he's able to do so much when he gets the scope out, using the versatility of having the likes of these jump backs. Look at that crosshair for Hype. He's changed that recently. God damn.
I can barely see it. How do you even know where the crosshair is? A lot of these players playing with very transparent crosshairs, but I do believe the hit's going to come on through now. Hype, he's the man of the hour. He's going to need to be. He'll be tested now with Russ alongside him. Both of these players with the flashes available, but Russ down early. Hype responds for one. Instantly dismisses away for a bit of information, and now the retake coming on through, at least the rotations coming on through from the rest of Royals on time. 3 players still alive. They need to take care of 4. Low HP though for quite a few of these guys, but the trades are still 1 for 1 right now, and it's down to just the 1. Capsule. Tight situation. Find the shots here, Mitch. 1 for him, and a second. Does it happen? No.
He was close, but Raplan just comes ahead at the last second with a quick shot. Now, these guys played each other before. You'll remember week 4, the semi-finals of the Valhalla Invitational, and Royals took it 2-0 in a best of 3. They played absolutely insane, but again, different lineup. You're talking about Leakin, Capis, Hype, DPS, and Neff, and you can see in that just how much that's changed with Russ and Casper in here instead. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of 2G4L, you've still got Alexi, Fake, Cinda, and Replan. It's just Embo that's in here as a new... Oh, no, actually, Embo even played in that match, right?
Oh, yeah, possibly. I'm trying to rack my memory as to who exactly played which game now.
It's been
now,
a wild
I guess
one.
in the current day, it depends. It's going to have to matter now to see... more specifically for Royals, who've definitely changed up their roster a little bit more, if they can still really live up to the hype, if they can live up to, I guess, the legacy they kind of built for themselves as a semi-pro team, as an up-and-coming team. They're down 1 round. Can they survive the anti-eco here? That's the question, as we see that Russ is solo on towards C, and he'll be met with 3 players coming his way.
Now, this is going to be heavy focus by 2G4L. Big problems. The Cypher of Alexi just going out and trying to bait. He's been really good on Cypher as well in the games that we've seen from him in the past. Particularly when you're playing on a map like Split. He usually has some insane impact. As the time ticks down, though, they're going to push in towards this site. Russ, unfortunately, does get caught out. The blind isn't going to blind the first players through, so they can still see him clear as day. With Fake finding that, Alexi on the cam, going to allow them to plant out in the back. Doesn't even go for the info. Instead, he's using the cam in a very different way. Popping it out to try and bait the shots in. As they go to take it down, he would know where they are, swing through and find the kill. But no one gives away that information. Oh, he has indeed. Where was that? That was Replan over towards the... very long, was it? Yeah, he buries it behind.
He doesn't have the gun, though. He's still playing on the frenzy. That's unfortunate because he's not going to be able to win this 1v2 situation. Teammate now, DPS, going to try and take the same angle. They're not going to time this very well, though. Castor is already in early. Down to Cinder. 1 versus 4, and the possibility of exit frags. Just the classic available. He might be able to get 1. 2G4L checking the corners. Surely they'll check this one as well. And in fact, they're being cautious about this one. They might suspect it. They might sniff it out here, Mitch.
That was gorgeous. Little shots onto Embo. So much damage done. It's fair that he doesn't get anything peeking into a Vandal at the end of the day, but I got to say the damage that he's done right there is pretty damn impressive. And so just as I look at this, now this is actually the exact same. I thought Embo might have been new, but I went back and checked. Now 2G4L rocking in with the same roster that they lost to Royals. And looking back at that series, as I said, it was 2-0. The first map, though, was 13-3. It was crazy one-sided. And so hopefully we don't see the same team here, because 2G4L did warm up towards the end of it, losing the second map 13-11 in a much more convincing manner. And what I will also say about them is they didn't play Haven. It was Split and Bind back then. So this first map is new territory for 2G4L in this matchup.
Smoke's down.
Well, hopefully it doesn't get too one-sided in either case. I mean, 2G4 will get a 2-round lead to start things out with. Should feel pretty decent about this one. Very fast take over towards B, and already you look at the Royals are going to be slightly late to the party here, but decent in terms of the positioning. Back over towards Hype. He's a member that can really do some damage, but the lair maybe just a little bit too early. Hype swings before the blind can come in, and the flash is ineffective. Now with that one member down, this is a little bit more difficult to take. Casper has the potential to swing around. Embo is there to check for two members down for this team. Embo goes down as well, but there's not much left now. Just Russ on the retake. 1 versus 4. He's taking damage. Position revealed, and Fake will get rid of him.
And with that surviving on 4 players, 2G4L build up quite a bit of cash to work around. They've got ultimates coming online and just about to on Cinda, and that would be the beautiful little resurrection possible. Royals off to a pretty slow start here, not what we're used to seeing from them. As I said, they haven't played Haven before, but Bind is 2G4L's map pick. That is up next, and that is, as I said, 13-11 last time they played. But the key members of Royals are still here. Hype was always an absolute pleasure to watch. Probably the best player we've seen in EU across the mainstreams of Valhalla when he was playing on the Raze. Now, how he plays when it comes through to Reyna, I'm excited to see.
Cage trigger.
So far, hasn't had the
What we are seeing is he's staying on the duelist picks, and okay, well, opportunity has been denied here very quickly. And again, Royals are on an eco here. They're just on the pistols, so they are probably more inclined to make plays happen. They are forcing these through right now, but 2 players forced out just as quickly. And this will be number 4 for sure. There's still 3 ultimates available for 2G4L. I don't even really expect them to expend any of these. Really, we're just looking for Royals to maybe set up a few crossfires, get lucky on the entries, and hopefully get a couple of kills.
Yeah, unfortunately, the start doesn't go according to that plan, but we'll see if the end can. The smoke's down, DPS, lobbing through a couple of damage-dealing arrows, but they land a little bit shy on top of the site, and the damage done in the start of the round healed up. As Alexi takes out Casper, and you see Royals looking for something on 2 different angles. These pistols playing very individual gameplay, but then they come together as DPS goes through to take Alexi out, who'd just been baited into play by K-Piz. That info in their hand, they at least find one. There's DPS on another, and now looking to save the weapon. That's an ideal round if he gets away with this. He's going to peek in towards the spawn as well. Spots another and a 3rd kill. Unfortunately, a little too late to get onto that spike and defuse it, but at least getting the damage, and a great arrow, giving him the room to look towards different angles. I gotta say, though, AVRL, I would have preferred for him to just go into spawn at that point.
Yeah, I think he started to get maybe a little too greedy. I mean, sure, he was holding the angle to garage, and he was expecting that maybe somebody walks through. The possibility of the 4K there was certainly online for him. And that would have been a huge round. Already was a huge round. Saving that rifle would have helped their economy. You can see that he's only got the 800 left to spend after having to repurchase that gun, losing the Phantom that he had kept into his hand in terms of picking off the dead players from 2G4L. We're at this point in the game, 4 rounds in a row. Still a decent amount of money to play with, operated in the hands of Ripland now. The Royals, this is a round that you gotta be winning, because if they don't win this one, I think they eco again.
Nowhere to run!
Oh, that's a good tag by DPS off the bat. Unable to follow up on the second, though. A little bit of tricky movement going down, and the heals are there immediately. Now, with a 4-0 in play, 2G4L have very little pressure on them. Lots of ultimates being expended to keep them out. This is really strong from them as they get over to C and stop any quick window retakes. Rook down on Longos, at least able to pick one, misses the shot onto the planter of Cinda, and so that is going to be a plan confirmed for 2G4L eventually.
You will not kill my
I don't even think that Russ needed to repeat that one. He just needed to be alive and be annoying. He needed to be a constant threat that is able to come in and swing for information, swing for damage. He's still got util available. But now 2G4L has managed to maintain control over sight. They're all playing over towards long. Fake will now take up the same angle that Russ was earlier. Massive wall to delay. Having to swap over to rifles. He'll break this one through, but Hype's good for 3 so far. Embo as well on for 3. A 2 versus 2 scenario. Low HP being healed up here for Team 2G4L. That's Cinder, who's looking for that. Looking for kills. 1 player alive now. just DPS, and he's managed to clutch on through. That is incredible play coming through from Royals to be able to win this round. You'd say that maybe they shouldn't have been able to do this one. Even numbers, and 2G4L held decent angles to hold the plant that was planted exactly for long. Somehow DPS manages to sneak it through.
Well, that was huge. I mean, Casper puts down the cage, activates it, right? Robs them of all their vision. Then he stands on the bomb as DPS defuses. So when they spam through and Synda kills Casper, spamming straight at the center of the bomb, you assume, okay, we've killed the diffuser. We're good. Let's wait for them to tap it again. But no, because DPS was sticking it the whole time, and they pull it across the line. Absolutely embarrassing 2G4L with that round. One that was, I mean, back and forth the whole way. Oh, Embo, hello! What is that with the double opening? Capis and DPS completely ruined on A long, and with that, 2G4L go way ahead in this round. A 3-man advantage to work with.
Russ is not going to be able to come through on the flank either. Alexi will pick that one up, and even if Alexi doesn't kill it, I'm pretty sure Red Plan would have had it. Hype at this stage should probably back away. He's only got 500 credits to his name. He's even going to attempt the 1 versus 5. Okay, well, you reveal your position now. Dismiss straight onto the site, and you'll be surrounded. Goes for the potential of getting a half stick here, and that's all he's going to get. 1 kill, half a defuse. Nothing more in this round. What's interesting, by the way, Mitch, I didn't get a chance to bring this one up, but by the way, Royals, after clutching up that 4th round, had a half buy into round number 6. Sorry, 5th round to the 6th round here. They half bought into the previous round, and now they have to eco again. They've won a round, and their reward for winning a round was a half buy.
I mean, that pretty much says it all about the damage that was being done the whole way along, right? The Royals never able to get off onto their feet, onto that running start. As we said, that's not like them. And the punishment is pretty severe in this game if you're not able to really do anything. And even in the rounds you're winning, you survive with 1 player. It's a problem for Royals for sure. And coming into this round, they're paying the ultimate price, having to take the pistols.
Well, Russ has confirmed that at least 1 player here. He knows the breach play. He doesn't swing around for the flash, and he's also revealed this position, or at least somebody did. I think that might have been Hype, actually, that shot a little bit too early. And now as Russ tries to swing around, he's not going to find anybody. So unsuccessful 2 in a row for Hype, or rather for Russ, who tries to hide around that same angle on top of the box. And I'm pretty sure it was a sheriff firing, and just taking a look at the money and the equipment walking into that one. Yeah, it must have been Russ who, after being flashed through, decided to pre-fire and got punished, revealed his positioning. So easy round for 2G4L, who are now 6-1.
6-1 is one hell of a scoreline. I mean, when we're mentioning how Royals won this series last time they played against each other, maybe... Well, no, see, the only excuse I could come up with here, AVRL, is that maybe Royals aren't feeling too good when it comes to Haven. Maybe this isn't the map they like to play, but they picked it, so there's not really any possibility of going with that excuse, is there?
We're getting to the stage now where I remember saying this in Valhalla, but back then, with only 3 maps, maybe the teams don't have favored maps yet, but now that we've got 4, now that we're into the live game, and especially for these teams who we know were big beta teams, they've been playing for, you know, basically since the start of beta in some cases. We're getting to the stage now where there should be some preferences coming on through, and certainly we're going to be picking 2 out of the 4 here. That's got to be the case, and if you're wondering why Russ just altered directly into 2 players, he's just doing that for information. You can always cancel from the shadows now on the live patch, so that's interesting. They are going to reveal that at least 2 players were playing towards long and playing towards A lobby rather, and they even get 1 of the kills there. Responded now by Replan.
That's a really good strategy with the Omen ult, just to get that extra bit of information, something that I think, again, not a lot of players use all too well. And especially on this map, Omen can be so useful for ultimates, especially pushing in towards the A site where we saw before the use of verticality and confusing and bamboozling your opponents. Replan might have gotten an angle there, he still does, and down goes Hype. Very valuable kill as they look to push C. Out goes Fake and picks up Casper, who just been taken out by the ultimate, pushed up into the air. And a great trade as they keep them guessing. The plant eventually comes down on C. That mid push going to be watched for by a Fake, so it's not too much of a big deal. And the Breach is just watching the back, making sure Sova can't really catch them off guard. They've got Hype. Sorry, excuse me. They've got the Rays of Replan looking in towards the spawn for K-Piz. And really, there's not a lot of chances for Royals to get into this, especially considering their economy. I wouldn't mind them saving. If they don't get a kill in the next couple seconds, I think it's time to just back off.
Out of charges.
Well, this is definitely within the next couple of seconds. They lose a man with the red plan again. And a huge 1v1 being won earlier by Fake over towards A. And that is exactly the epitome of kind of having your cake and eating it too. You're winning in all parts of the map. You're pushing up towards C where you're actually planning to plant and you win that one. Your lurker's moving up towards A, finds a 1 versus 1. He wins that one as well. So 2G4L are winning on all parts of that. They're winning on economy as well. It will be either a force buy or a save from Royals. Again, we are starting to run out of rounds here. This is why it's uncomfortable. And yep, here come the pistols. We're just going back and forth between saving, buying, and Royals are in a rut.
Alright, it's go time really for Royals in the next round. If they lose that, it's time to kiss them goodbye. We have questions coming into this, you know, how are they going to adapt?
Bomb buddy out.
Oh, he doesn't? But having saved the weapon,
He's got the only rifle on the team. Doesn't even have armor. Nope. Doesn't have it.
Surely you'd either invest into armor or you would give the rifle to your teammate. I mean, that makes sense, right?
Can I tell you what should happen here? If he gives it to Hype, who's one away from his ultimate, who has purchased armor, Hype can win this round on his own if he's good. Teams are not giving the equipment over to the later players, their duelists, and that baffles me why you wouldn't make that play, why you wouldn't do it. Russ is going to try and push up now. Really, I would like to see him work with the player here, but hey, he's a seaside anchor by himself. He's used his paranoia now, so he'll be flashless around this corner. And because there's a bunch of armor available for the attacking side of 2G4L, Russ is also on 18 HP. If he had a Sheriff here, I would believe in this play. He's at least waiting for maybe DPS to give him the info. He can maybe bait for DPS, that would be ideal. The Reina player of Hype will do nothing, unfortunately. If he had a gun, he could have dismissed a bit of ult, he could have done so much, but it's over.
Yeah. That's a serious shame. Casper, at least delivering when it comes through to that Sheriff. The one Sheriff. Still doesn't catch quite as well as the 1D, but was Rappelin taking a risky play up against these pistols, but it pays off with a 3rd kill in the round. That's it pretty much secured. And I can't help but 100% agree with you there. I mean, when you look at the position that they were in there, you've got a rifle with no armor, a Reina with, as you said, just about the ult, all of her abilities as well. She can heal, she can go, well, invulnerable, and bail back if she's her ult invisible as well, even better to bail with. And take a lot of duels, re-heal up the armor she loses. I mean, everything was perfect about that, but it seems like a very selfish play. And when, especially considering that Reina is, first of all, their top fragger. Second of all, it's Hype, who we already know is an absolute animal. Just don't make a lot of sense.
It's called not setting yourself up to win, unfortunately, here. And we're running out of rounds that you can give away. Yeah, that was an eco, sure, but there's an eco where you have a win condition, where you're close to ultimates. You are still close to ultimates. DPS nearly has Hunter's Fury again. Operator in his hands now, playing semi-glass cannon, just a light armor. He'll need to fire and hit this opening shot. He has been pushed away from the angle. It nearly even dies to Red Plan. Both of those players will miss each other. And Embo somehow picks up the kill with a molly and Capers as well. A-site is open, Mitch.
I know exactly where you are.
Well, this one's fallen apart pretty quickly. Royals needed this round. We talked about the importance, but now they've even been spotted out as they come back in for the retake all through spawn. Raplan's watching the back, waiting for a player to reveal himself, but their other 4 players are anchored down and ready for this push. As well, considering how quickly they found this round and found this bomb site, you also know that they've got a lot of utility, lots and lots to work with. Flushing them out of those positions will be next to impossible, especially with the agents that are remaining, and so they do decide to just fall back, save these weapons through to the next, and there's Replan taken down, a potential extra operator to be retrieved.
Yeah, I think they'll go for this one. The 4 players alive for 2G4L will try and recover the gun. They're assuming that the Royals didn't push up on it. They assume that Casper didn't just dive into the window. That would have been very risky from him. And 9 now on the board for 2G4L. Look, Mitch, you said 13-3 was a possible scoreline. I think it might still happen, just not the way that Royals thought it would.
Yeah, this... I'm very surprised at the performance we have coming out from Royals. Russ, as a new member of this roster, hasn't really done anything for me right now. Casper definitely turned up and performed.
1 and 9.
Well, that's I didn't want to say it, but you threw him under the bus.
Look, man, I've dealt worse hands to players on cast before. I don't mind being that guy. That was a hell of a shot coming through the tank, man. Now we'll see if Roy's going to spawn. Double bolt machine deployed here. Under Fury not finding the mark. Gets a tag onto one person, but Embo, well, the orbital strike is going to do extremely well here. Hype just got the one before he died. What happened there? Hype had the dismiss. He could have gone invulnerable. They could have survived the orbital strike. There's just going to be a bit of a punish coming through onto the resurrection. They'll at least stop that one from coming into play. But the 1 versus 2, at least the ultimate is there and available here for Casper if he wants to go for it. And like I said earlier, there's barely any rounds to play for, so you have to make this happen. The 1v2 must be played here. The 1v2 must be used, and he's going to go for it.
Planted.
Yeah, there's no way he doesn't. Oh, Alexi not watching the right angle. The flank coming through. Goodbye, Alexi. Actually manages to return a shot still. Casper getting away with murder there, missing those first couple of shots. Cinda on the fast flank. This is huge. There's so many angles to clear out before he actually sticks it. Oh, did he hear him? I think he heard that jump.
Noise. Yeah. Oh. Look, I feel great for Royals. I'm happy they're going to take the second round here, but Capers... Rather, that wasn't Capers, that was Cinder. He completely gave it away. First of all, it's a risk because if you're going to make a long flank around all the way down long C, up through double doors, you have to run. Because you know Casper is already in double doors, he's already in garage, he's going to start clearing sight, he sees you're not there, he's going to test you. He'll go for the fake defuse. No response, he might stick it. So if you are going to come through from double doors, you got to run. If you got to run, you got to make noise, and then the entire play's gone. If you try and walk, you're going to get to sight late. He should have just played long and played for the more predictable play, but the more higher percentage chance of winning.
There were definitely mistakes made, but Royals capitalized on them, and you got to give that to them. Great shots hit by Casper either way as Hype opens this one up now. Invisible. Hype looking to do a little bit more. Gets it onto Embo. And that's a great start. Oh, slowed down on the way back. The eye goes out to buy a little bit more time. Smoke as well. They're going to wait. Hype's going to wait for the spams to come through and then bail afterwards with a stolen sight. That's a really good retreat. I like the combination of Hype and Russ to get Hype out of there.
By the way, Red Plan has noticed that nobody's home on the B. He's cleared out this, or he's rather investigated this. I don't want to say he's cleared it out. Certainly they don't know anyone's back of B, and that's going to be hyped down. Decent return kills coming through from both Russ and DPS, courtesy of the Shock Bolt and also the Operator, and now by himself was Alexi in the final round of the half. And this surely should go the way of Royals, and it certainly does. 3-9 as we open things up now. And the 13-3 is definitely possible. 2G4L win the opening pistol on their defense now. They'll surely be up 11-3 after winning the anti-eco, and then they just need the 2 more after that to be able to secure this first map of the quarterfinal.
We take a look there at the scoreboard yet again. With the score of 9-3, there's been a lot of heavy lifting done over towards the side of 2G4L, and the vast majority of that up towards the players that we expect. You've got Rapland, 13 frags, and it's only on the defensive side that you'll normally see him thrive, or rather, it is the defensive side where you'll see him thrive. And with 13 kills, once he gets that operator out, I think he's going to be a huge thorn in the side of Royals if he's able to do that much on the attack. Embo as well, though, deserves a huge shout out because he played fantastically.
Cover going out.
Yeah, 14-8 scoreline so far. He's been a major factor for his team. The possibility, by the way, you see that 2G4 actually make an aggressive push out through to mid. They get a lot of information that nothing's there, and Red Plan's going to have to do it all now. Boombot not used. No utility. I'm so surprised he doesn't have blast packs. He's blinded now. He shot one bullet, revealed his position. If he had blast packs there, Mitch, that's 75 damage per pack. And he could have done some major damage there to the pushes. And because he dies, because his teammate dies as well in terms of flank, this 3v4 now is hard.
especially playing C long, packs are very useful. Once that armor, great shot by Alexi. There's Casper taken down, but it's just not enough. They need to do more individually. With the 1-for-1 trades going through as Russ and DPS close out the round. A fourth is found for Royals. Again, it's going to be a difficult task to get back into this.
I'll tell you what, though. The road starts by winning pistol. And, I mean, that sounds like an obvious thing to say, but consider the alternative would have been 2G4L up to the potential of 11 rounds while Royals still sits at 4. Now we could expect 5 rounds versus the 9, especially because 2G4L are not investing into this one. They're not force buying into their own Spectres or anything like that. You'll see 2 shorties being played by Embo and Alexi. Perhaps onto tight angles here. If you're Royals, you just need to clear your angles properly. You need to make sure you are watching and careful of potential close range engagements as they're deciding which way they want to go. Garage is clear, so is B. It's going to be a major stack over towards A.
Yep, these are the rounds where you take the gambles, where you look to stack up and catch them off guard. At the moment, 2G4L not giving away their hand, just tucked in and hoping they come their way. If Royals do decide to go to C, which looks very likely, they'll probably still attempt the retake, and with the likes of a shorty, you're not going to get anything done, so I think realistically, it has to be just sitting outside the site and hoping to find some exits.
Ember might get one. Oh, he swung really quickly. Dinks Capers in the face, by the way, but Capers, as you can see by his HP bar, he's still got most of it available. So no entry. Unfortunately, no entry for Ryan going the way of Embo, who is really hoping for something to go for. Something to allow the rest of the teammates to maybe play a 4v4 that's doable. Russ is going to find the timing onto Fake and takes a bit of pistol fire in return, confirms his 2 members over towards spawn. He might get flanked. You can start to see one coming through Garage, and indeed Cinder is going to be able to take up that kill. Can't click the gun though, and won't be able to get another kill.
Yeah, look, every kill that you find in a round like this is more than you're really expected to. Specifically when you don't get the opening. And even it's more so in this game because you see that initial fight, you do damage with the shorty, but if you die and you don't have a teammate to follow up, it doesn't matter because you're immediately going to have Sage going in and healing that player. So opening damage, unless you do it onto 2 players, will not matter. And so when it's in that 5v4 and you're waiting outside to get 1 kill, I think is more than I'd really expect, where it's like, so it's on the edge of good.
I'll tell you what,
really,
though. Doing damage, if you can get rid of the armor and just get them to, even if Sage heals back up to 100, that at least gets you into ghost headshot range. So that, I'll give them that part. That's workable. But unfortunately, if you're playing too many shorties, I think playing 2 shorties is about the limit. You don't want more than 2, but even the 2, you saw that it was impossible to retake for Alexi. You can't walk up the shorties, and speaking of walking up, look at this. Fake is tucked in deep into Cubby. If this doesn't get checked, this will be a kill for sure, and there it is, the double dink on the knife, and now he's going to try and swing with a flash. Great timing. He's got to get the 2nd kill. Tell me you're going to get this one, Fake. DPS responds strong. And what should have been a double up for Fake is now just going to be the 1-for-1.
Considering he comes in with a Spectre, forcing out the heal early on for that Sage, you know you've either got a little period to relax in, which you don't, or no heal when they do push forward. The raise up close on the right. Completely stolen sight. DPS swings. Great combination by Royals. Now we're starting to see that team play. Now we're starting to see the team that we wanted to see from the very beginning. Cinda not able to tuck in time, spotted out by that drone just about. I don't know if he knows it or not. And so too is his teammate. With that, they're just going to bail out and save. Alexi and Cinda bringing the weapons through to the next round. But Royals, that was so clean. Okay, the opening duel definitely didn't go their way. The damage done was favored to 2G4L with the weapon they brought into it. But absolutely fantastic play to watch from the Omen. Russ stealing sight down the alley and not being the one to peek even. It was immediate by D. So he has to wait till he pulls his gun out, right? And then swing through to the right. Instead, as soon as he throws it out, DPS comes up long. It was used to cover that cross and indeed found them a kill on pretty much the round off the back of it.
I think it must have been, you know, one of those plays where you probably thought the possibility was there. I don't even know if they confirmed that Red Plant was coming through from Garage. I'm pretty sure they didn't. I'm not going to say they got lucky because obviously they are trying to secure the cross. Look, he could have maybe used the smoke for that one if he wanted to do it cheaply. they were rewarded with a kill, and I think Redplan was in position to definitely do some real damage if he was allowed to live, so it ends up working out very nicely for Royals, who get 6 now versus 9, and it's been 3 rounds in a row in this particular half of offense as well, so just 1 more to go now, and they'll have basically evened up with 2G4L in terms of how the opening 4 rounds have gone for either side.
Well, 2G4L have got it all to work with now. That operator in the hands of Replan was what we highlighted as the weapon that you want to keep an eye out for. The one that can make a difference in not just the early fights, but the late. However, to start this off, Replan misses the shot. Gives them a bit of a warning on where he's playing, and immediately Royals looking towards double doors and double opening as well. C is completely open for the taking.
That was a disgusting snap coming through from height. And now we've walked our way on towards C. Redplan yet to hit a shot so far in this particular round, and he really needs to start being able to pick up a couple of these. You can imagine a situation where he got the opening kill onto DPS. You can imagine a situation where he gets a kill onto the cross as well for C. That would be a 3v3 situation. I think 2G4L would go for it if it was a 3v3. But their money situation is not looking good. They've been losing 3 rounds in a row. They will now lose 4 rounds in a row. So Royals will have evened up at least how the early rounds have gone per half. As 2G4L at minimum now will be saving 3 weapons, assuming they live to tell the tale of it.
Yeah, well, that's not all guaranteed, is it? As you see the rays of Replan in a bit of danger. The Reyna quickly rushing in towards him. Having Hype challenging you is never how you want to go, but luckily Hype goes up through long, and so that weapon should be saved. And indeed it is. So they carry forward their 3, giving them a decent buy-up in this one. But AVRL, this really is the line, isn't it? Look at the amount of money Royals have got built up as well. That's disgusting.
And I'll be honest, I definitely think this is a attacker-sided map for sure. And that's not always come true. There have definitely been rounds and games and maps between teams where defenders, for whatever reason, have done exceptionally well. But as it appears now for 2G4L and also Royals, when you're on the attacker side, you are in position to really get those rounds in. We see that 2G4L once again gamble stacking over towards one side of the map, and well, they flipped coins tail this time around because Royals are moving over towards A, and 2G4L are only slowly now making a rotation, but just the one.
Blinding. Cover going out.
Well, this is going to have to be much quicker over towards that A side. They need more rotations because Royals are coming out in force. Cinda able to shut back 1. But for how much longer can he hold back the horde? The smoke's about to fade as Casper picks up Embo. Cinda still going. The Molotov kept them back on long for a minute. Fake able to get through with a kill. He needs the heals though from up above, and I don't think Cinda can reach him without going out into very dangerous territory. Luckily though, K-Piz from afar almost deals with him, but look. Very luckily, Replan was there with the off. Had he not have found that, look at the health on Cinda. Look at the health that was in play for Replan. And then Fake was obviously 1 HP. That could have spiraled out of control immediately, but it took him a little too long to finish Cinda off.
Well, the streak has been broken now, Mitch, as we hit the double digits for 2G4L. They've confirmed 10 on the board. 3 more to go to get this first map in the quarterfinals, a best of 3. So they really want to get that early lead in this playoffs match for the Wave Invitational. What we saw there, excellent defense by Alexi and Sinnet to be able to catch players in the camera, get the early tags in. Redplan will be boosted up, the double boost over onto the box. You can see above smokes there, by the way. No smokes obviously being played, and no one's going to walk into his line of sight, so he'll be a bit of a sad boy today in terms of the C defense. It's got to be more action towards the B and A sites, and definitely towards the A sites if Russ and his particular lurk over here is successful.
Yeah, Russ is playing to make a little bit of noise at the very beginning, but not spotting anybody out. The rest of the team starts to make a move. Now, with the setup that they currently have, they're in really good position to defend in towards that A side. 2 players here. You got Alexi and Cinda, and a very quick rotate possible from Embo on the Brimstone. Just outside of B, you can see that's basically a 3-man A defense. They think Royals are going to come to this site, and they're very correct.
Alexi's tucked in right now. We'll see how much damage he can do. Gets the 1 so far. He called that one worth Cinder as well. It's going to be very, very good for that 1 kill. And Embo is in position to collect the red spike. It's been dropped on the floor. Casper can only do so much in this particular situation. The Neural
have
therefore
retrieved
tell him
the
that one
spike.
is coming through heaven, one is coming through the defensive side. But they are going to double peek him. This timing is going to be very important. Can he find a 1v1? He needs to find 2 back-to-back 1v1s to have a real shot at winning
3
this
out of
round.
5.
And he's going to be able to find the first kill. Okay, just one more alive now. 13
Keep
seconds.
trigger.
He's probably going to look towards the plant, towards speed. He'll be able to do that for now. Drops the coin, drops the trapwire, and Red Plant is on the chase. He's going to go high. Looking now, hunting now. The position, the availability. Red Plant finds it. Casper looking in the wrong direction. You heard the blast pack. He thought that maybe Red Plant was going to come from that side of the box. Red Plant is just a little bit too cheeky, just a little bit too sneaky, and is now going to get the 11.
Well, the sneaky beaky play pays off up on top of the box. Bided his time. Is it bided or bade his time? That's the question I've never had an answer to. I feel like it's bided.
And I don't have an answer for you, so pick the
Well,
one you
let me-
like. Change the English language how you see fit.
Satchel out.
Past tense of bide. Okay. Bided. Okay, it is. It sounds weird, but we'll go with it. But yeah, he bided his time.
No.
Found the 11th round. Oh, look at that cheeky wall up above. Usually you'll see the one to allow you to head peek on the back of sight, not to go all the way up, but
Look at
above
this.
the smoke
He'll see
again.
above the smoke.
It's perfect. It really is. And with that, although he won't spot anyone, although he won't get a kill, he knows there's no one there. And if they've thrown a smoke and not even bothered to cross to that side, I think you're in for a pretty decent gamble that they're not coming to see, at least not immediately. And as the smoke fades and still no contact, it puts us into a position where 2G4L should have a pretty good read that this is the other side of the map that's under threat. Although they still haven't changed their setup to adjust.
Well, the only thing you got to say about that is it is kind of expensive. Consider the blast pack costs 200 now, the wall's 400. It's 600 credits invested just to get the boost up.
Smoke's down.
And also this play, by the way, Fake ended up baiting for Embo, so he's going to be able to swing for that trade to make it a 1-for-1. Red Plane still posted up towards C. Information from Alexi over towards A confirms nothing's happening over there. And now that we see the lair being pushed in towards B, we can assume that's exactly what the push is, as Cinder confirms it with his own death.
No problem starting to brew as Embo runs right on through into a Molotov as DPS takes off his head. It's in a pretty difficult position for Alexi, who now lays dead. Only Replan in a 1v3 and not the best situation he could be in. It looks like he's just going to save over this up. Not really a lot of chances for him to win that, was there?
Not unless he finds an opening pick with the operator, maybe pulls out the showstopper and gets a pick off that as well, turns it into a 1v1. But let's say all of that goes well. If DPS survives, he will stop your defuse with the Hunter's Fury ultimate. So, very difficult round. And unfortunately, 2 out of 2 now. Rip Plan's made that double boost twice where he jumps on top of the box, then has his Sage player of Cinder boost him up even higher to see over the smoke. Twice now he's been able to do that, and twice, unfortunately, no one peeks into his line of sight. So, unlucky maybe. He's possibly going to consider changing positions here. I don't know that you want to spend 600 credits every single round to not get any value. And he'll now move over towards the A side.
You're very right. That investment, you know, if it pays off within the first 2 or 3 times you try it, fair enough. But if it doesn't, it's time to make a move. And that's exactly what they do. 2G4L starting to feel a little bit stale now on the defensive side, so the mix-up putting Replan on A could be what helps them out. But Royals have such a slow early round. It's very hard to predict what they're actually going to do without aggression. And so we're seeing Alexi push all the way up A long. Once he clears this out, and indeed short, I think Replan probably rotates to C. But they'll need to do that quite quickly, as Royals are already gearing up to take that C side.
And now that Royals are actually going to move towards C, like you said, Red Plan wishes to get the double boost. Just unfortunate, really unlucky. I think he's going to spot out 2 players over there. It's going to be the Rolling Thunder coming on through, and it's going to hit big time, but Fake needs to find some kills. Sniper's on the off angle, and he's going to be able to shut that defense down. Embo wants to come in as well. He doesn't have much more to use. We can still see some utility being played here. Resurrection available. Showstopper available. Where are these ultimates going to come through for 2G4L? They have the capability to win this round. 2 versus 4 is going to be tough. But if they want this one, they got to go for it. And now it's going to be the 1 versus 4 and the 0. 4 ultimates, Mitch. is how many they're going to have when they all go down at the end of the day.
You know, well, 2G4L, at least with those 4 ults, might be able to turn things around, but that was such a great round from Royals. They play it slow, they go for their C long control. One smoke through, and they start to creep on up long. That smoke's being thrown consistently, round on round, so it's very difficult to actually predict, oh, they smoked C, maybe they're pushing. You don't know, and after 4 or 5 rounds in a row where they do that and don't push, you stop really paying that much attention to it. From there, Russ ults into C, cancels it, but spots out the players in the back site, knows immediately where Fake is, called for Embo as well, who I believe he spotted in CT, and at that point, they have all the info, and they're right on the site. They push through, find every single kill, and in a very dominant fashion, pull that round into their favor. We also saw some great Reyna gameplay, from Hype, getting his heels up and then continuing to push fight after fight while being on full health without even needing to bother a save.
He certainly got the most important kill there, the one onto Fake, who used the Rolling Thunder ultimate, and that ultimate on its own, and the swing through from Fake could have just connected onto everybody. That would have been a multi-kill for sure. So that's definitely the most important kill that saves the round for Royals and certainly makes it winnable. Checking through B now, DPS spots nothing. And what it does mean that he can sort of lurk through and rotate into towards the defender side, the A link if he wants to. He'll be responded to in just a second. Contact being made for sure. He finds the back of a player. And Cinder's going to take a couple of shots. He runs all the way to him, but they have lost 2 on entry. 1 entry onto A, and 1 over, obviously, from their lurker. Still a couple players available, though, on both ends. Orbital Strike going to be committed, invested into this particular round, and it may be paying off for them. It may be worth it just for 1 alive now. Russ has to do it all. Has an operator. Is going to drop it on the floor. 12-9 now, 2G4L, map point.
And you heard the upgrade to that operator in the background there as Embo picked it up for Raplan to use in this round right here. 12-9. Royals have to be looking at this with trepidation. They've connected quite a number of rounds in a row. They've been doing well, but then 2G4L wake up. Now, one thing to give them credit, Royals have won the most consistent rounds, I think, on this attacking side, and 2G4L have only broken that streak by pulling out all the ultimates. Now they're back in a position where they've got a res, they've got ciphers as well, so it's all based on support of ultimates, and that is huge, though. 1-for-1 trades might look good for the attacking side, but they've dropped the Sage. No heals now remain, and a res comes through for Raplan to go back up. Something that Royals can't do with their Sage already being dead.
Russ, okay, he's in position to possibly get a trade. He saw his shoulder there for sure. He might have been spotted here. There's even the flash. Doesn't matter that he'll collect Embo and now have to try and find his way out. He's got Paranoia available. The spike is being picked up by DPS as well. They notice the spike to drop on towards the floor. 12 HP now for Russ as he wants to make it out of that situation. B's the name of the game here for the rest of the players from Royals that are still alive. They have to survive against the flank coming through from flank, and well, DPS will only for the time being 1 versus 2, must-win situation, 2 alive, max HP. Alexi even has his neural theft. They can confirm where DPS is going to push, and DPS does not have the HP to win this round.
No, I mean, he would need to have a Vandal, really, and hit headshots at this point.
Planted.
As DPS looks to wide swing, Cinder was just waiting with the Bulldog. That's really like, and it was an off angle as well, right? So he was coming out aiming for in towards the spawn. He wasn't looking for that more aggressive angle. And so really well played by Cinda.
Well, that was going to be a very difficult situation. I'm a little surprised that 2G4 didn't just use the neural theft, but at the end of the day, they didn't need it.